Hey, what's up guys? It's C-Stacks here, coming to you with another opening video. I have my hands on the first set in the, what's it called? The Children of the Atoms arc that we're in right now. It's been a while since we've gotten to open a 200 card box. I think it's been since Buffy. So this is pretty exciting. The X-Men theme in the game is one of my favorites, so it's really cool to get like a whole arc just based around, X-Men stuff. So let's just go ahead and open this bad boy up. Get the plastic off, and then we'll take a look at the box a little bit. First of all, I love the artwork on this box. Sometimes the boxes don't look too great, but I don't mind this one. All right, so let's see what it says here. So it says, if I can get it to focus, introducing an all-new story arc for Versus System 2 PCG. This first expansion in the Children of the Atom story arc features characters from both the X-Men and Hammer. Build your deck with iconic heroes and villains like Cyclops, Emma Frost, Norman Osborn, Weapon Omega, and more as the battle over Utopia begins. We have some of the cards on here. So let's just go ahead and open this up. Some of the cards in here I'm really excited for, and some I don't even remember, as is usually the case. So we have our counter things, because any box that says battles is supposed to come with the counters. It comes with the vitality counters too. I don't remember if there's anything in here that uses a vitality counter. I'm inclined to think no, but I don't remember. Let's start with the good guys first. Let's do the mutant resistance, the X-Men guys. There's a full rulebook this time, so I won't really go through that. But there's a full rulebook because it's a battle set, so it's considered kind of the base set. Alright, let's split this stack in half so it's not so huge. Okay, so first we got our boy Cyclops. My copy's kind of damaged, it's kind of disappointing. Anyway, so we got Cyclops here. He is the Mutant Resistance. I believe that's what the team's called. He's a 3/4 with range and 5 wounds. I really like the artwork. Well, the artwork's okay. I wish maybe they had him doing his optic blast, but he doesn't look bad. So they'll follow him, main for a yellow, draw a card if you have a face-up Brotherhood character on your side. Draw a card if there is a face-up X-Men supporting character on your side. So if you have a Brotherhood, you draw one, X-Men draw one. If you have both, you just do both. So you can potentially draw 2 off that, which is pretty good. Then he has the squad I've put together, so level up 1. At the end of your turn, if you have at least one face-up Brotherhood, Mutant Resistance, and X-Men supporting character on your side, Cyclops gains an XP. So that doesn't seem too bad. You just need one of each guy. So at level 2, he's a 9/4 with 5. He loses that draw power, and now he has Trust the Plan. So main for a red, if you have at least one face-up Brotherhood, Mutant, and X-Men supporting characters, you have to have at least one of each on your side. Put 3+1 counters on each of them. So that's a pretty good power. It reads a little better than it actually is, because it says if you have at least any of these, put 3 on each of them. They ruled, though, that it's only a max of 3 characters you can do that on. So 1 Brotherhood, 1 Mutant Resistance, and 1 X-Men. So even if you have more than that, it's only a max of 3, which isn't really what the card says, but I guess that's how it's intended. So I think that's still really good, but, I think he's got really low defense at level 2, and he's only got 5 wounds, so this card's alright. I like that power. I like this character. I like Cyclops a lot. I think it's definitely better than X-Men Cyclops, so he's got that going for him at least. So here's a really, really interesting card. So we have level 1, Emma Frost, main character. She's X-Men at level 1. She's 4/3 with range and 5 wounds. She's got Schemer, which I think is on the Loki supporting character in the base set. When you play your first plot twist each turn, you may draw a card. And Fluid Fidelity, level up 5. When you recruit a Hammer or Mutant Resistance supporting character, Emma gains an XP. When she levels up, she levels into either her Hammer one or her Mutant one, depending on the team affiliation of the last supporting character that gave her XP. So let's go ahead and take a look at her level 2. So if you leveled her up using a Mutant Resistance character, this is what she turns into. She's a 6/7. She has mental calculations. At the start of your turn, look at the top 4 cards of your deck, put 2 on the bottom and the other 2 back on top. So we've seen that on Red Skull main character and MODOK. And then she has Seeker of Peace. Any turn, any combat, red. Choose an enemy attacker in the combat. It can't strike this turn. Emma may use this power any number of times each turn. That's kind of cool. And then if you level her up with Hammer, she turns into this. She doesn't have range this time for whatever reason. She's a 7/6/6. So she loses range, but she has 1 extra wound if she's Hammer. Enhanced durability. If Emma gets stunned other than by being struck in combat, she doesn't get wounded. And then Keeper of Law. Any turn, any combat, green. Choose a character on your side in the combat. It strikes an additional time this combat. Emma may use this power any number of times per turn. So that's kind of cool. So that makes it easier to hit people, I guess. Alright, so now we have Iceman. I think this card's terrible, but some people disagree, I guess. So he's a 6/1 with range and 5 wounds. He's got Ice Slide. So main for a red, Iceman has Flight and Invade this turn. So obviously we know what Flight is. Invade is the one where if you're attacking into the back row, he can't be struck back, which is good considering he has only 1 defense. And then level up, he's got Cold-Hearted Drake. He needs 5 XP. When an enemy character readies, Iceman gains an XP. And then when he becomes level 2, he's a 10/3 with 5 wounds. That 3 defense still makes me nervous, guys. Oh, man. So he's still got Ice Slide, and then he has Cryokinesis. So main, blue, freeze each enemy character. I like that a lot. I don't know. This card might be kind of cool. I think that the low defense he's got, both at level 1 and level 2, in addition to his 5 wounds, gives me pause, but he might be cool. He's a really odd card, I think. I don't remember exactly what these cards do, but I remember thinking this was kind of weird. Okay, so we have level 1 Pixie. She's a 1/6 with Flight and 5 wounds. She has Soul Dagger. Any turn combat green. Choose an enemy character in the combat to lose each modifier it gained this combat. This includes plus/minus attack and defense as well as powers. That's kind of interesting. It only affects once they gained this combat, though. And then Half Fairy, level up 3. When a character pays a blue, Pixie gains an XP. So that's you or your opponent. And then at level 2, let's see, she's a 4/9. She still has that Soul Dagger, and she has this power that I'm not even going to try to pronounce because I'm going to butcher it. Any turn combat blue, if Pixie is defending, remove her from the combat. You may rearrange your formation. That's pretty good. So any blue is a think again as long as they're attacking Pixie. And being able to rearrange your formation outside of that one time a turn you get to do it, that seems pretty good. I think we've only ever seen that on Nick Fury supporting character in the Shield set, and it's surprisingly good on that. So yeah, this is an interesting card. We'll see. Being able to cancel combats and stuff for blues is pretty good. So yeah, so that's all of our mutant resistance main characters, I think. Let's get into these support characters we got here. Let me move these off to the side. Okay, so we have 1-drop. Oh gosh, see, I don't know these characters. A Knoll, I don't know, maybe. He's a 1/2 with 2 wounds. He's got Climb, which we've seen before, and he has Regeneration. So you can climb, you can exhaust your location, give him +1, and you can heal a wound if he's face up at the start of your turn. That seems pretty meh. Here we got Magma 1-drop. She is a 3/1 with 1 health and range. Geothermokinesis. When an enemy supporting character with a +1 counter gets a -1 counter, stun that character. That's kind of interesting. It's the better 1-drop of the two, I think. Here we have Hellion, 3/4 with Flight and 1 wound. Advanced Telekinesis. Main for a green. Ready or exhaust a face-up character. That seems pretty good. That's not bad. Match 4/1 with range and 1 health. If match would strike a defender, put -1 counters equal to his attack on the defender instead. That's kind of neat. Like, I feel like I'm going to say that a lot. Like a lot of these cards don't blow me away, but I'm like, oh, that's a pretty neat card. Here we got a new Pixie card. New Pixie support character, I mean. 4/4 with Flight, 1 wound. Teleportation spell. Any turn, any combat, blue. Remove each character on your side from the combat. That seems pretty good. These any combat powers are pretty good. Alright, we have Celeste, 3/3 with range. Oh, is this that weird one? Yeah. Yeah, this is the odd one. So she's one of a kind. Stepford Cuckoo. When you recruit Celeste, she may pay a yellow. If she does, when she appears, you may put Mindy and or Phoebe from your hand onto your side, and then draw a card for each Stepford Cuckoo on your side. So when this comes out, you pay a yellow to bring out one of these, and I think they all do the same thing. Like when one comes out, you can pay a yellow to bring out one of the other two, and all that jazz. So this one, we have Mindy. She's also one of a kind, 3/3 range. And then she has the same, yeah, so she has the same power. So they all just let you, okay, no, hang on. So they'll have a similar power. So this one, bring it out, and you can bring out one of these guys, and then you draw cards. And Mindy, she can bring out one of the other ones, and then you put a vitality counter on each of them. So there are vitality counters in here. And then Phoebe, when she comes out, you can bring out another one, and then you put 2 +1 counters on each. So, ugh, sorry about that. Man, I'm all over the place. Okay, let's move on. We have 4-drop armor, 6/5 with range, psionic exoskeleton. Any turn combat yellow, armor gets +10 defense this combat, which is kind of cool. But you know, there's a lot of good 4-drops. I don't know that we want to just be paying a yellow every time we want to not die, but it's an interesting card. We have 4-drop rock slide, 5/5 with 2 wounds. We have Reform, better than ever. Any turn combat green, Rock Slide has +5/+5 this combat for each other Rock Slide supporting character in your KO pile. And then enhanced durability, if Rock Slide gets done other than getting struck in combat, he doesn't get wounded. That's interesting. Now here's a good card. So we have 5-drop Domino, 5/8 with range and 1 wound, and she has probability manipulation. When Domino attacks, flip a coin. If she wins the flip, stun the defender. When Domino defends, flip a coin. If she wins the flip, remove her from the combat and you may hide her. So I'm normally really against like coin flip powers, but in this case, I mean, there's no downside to doing it. It's not like if you lose the flip, she stuns or something, or you discard a card. There's no downside to it. So she's a 5/8 with range, and you have a 50-50 chance of canceling combats or stunning defenders or whatever. So, I don't know. This card seems pretty good. Maybe I'm wrong, because coin flip things, like I said, I usually hate coin flip mechanics, but that seems pretty good. So we have 5-drop Iceman, 8/1 with range and 2 wounds, and then he's got that ice slide power that the main character had. So you can pay a red and give him flight and invade for a turn. We have a new Avalanche, that's cool. I forgot about this card. He's got 4/6 in range, and he's got the big one. Blue, green, and red, KO up to 3 enemy basic locations with different types. That seems like it could be pretty good. We'll see. It's a very interesting card. All right, got some more, lots more mutant resistance cards here. All right, we got a new Psylocke. She's a 6-drop, 6/6 with 1 health. She has telepathic amnesia. Main for a yellow. The next time Psylocke stuns an enemy main character in melee combat this turn, that player discards their hand. That is very cool. I like that. We'll see if that's how often that happens. They have to stun a main character, but that seems cool. Oh, okay. I'm mad about this. I don't like to be a negative Nancy, but this annoys me. I've complained about this in the Transformers TCG a lot, but all right, let's get into this. So we have 7-drop Colossus. He's a 12/12 with 3 wounds. And he is completely blank. He's a vanilla, as it's a term people use. He's a vanilla. So, listen, if you want to make a vanilla card, that's fine. But, like, either A, put some flavor text in here, put, like, a little Colossus quote. Like, there's any number of cards with quotes on them, like She-Hulk, Deadpool, Gwenpool. Put something in here. Or just shrink this text box, shrink the blank text box since there's nothing in there, and make the image bigger. Make it like a full art or something. Do one of those things. Don't just put this big, ugly, blank text box on here. Anyway, that's just a peeve of mine. I really dig the artwork, though, you know, as a positive, but that's very annoying to me. Anyway, moving on. Here's a really cool card, speaking of great artwork. So we have 7-drop Wolverine. He's a 9/7 with 2 wounds. He has animal senses. When Wolverine appears or enters combat, you may look at an enemy player's hand. Really cool. And then he has survival of the fittest. While Wolverine is wounded, when he stuns an enemy character in melee combat, wound it an extra time. So I think those are 2 really good powers. I think this card will see some play. There's another 7-drop in this set that I think is better than this, but this is still a really cool card, and I dig the artwork. You know, I love my boy Wolverine. All right, we have Mercury. She doesn't have a cost. We'll get into that. So she's a 0/0 with one wound, and then she has malleable shape. As you recruit Mercury, pay any number of recruit points with a minimum of 1. She appears with that many +1 counters, and she's got leap. So this card could be pretty cool. I could see people playing this in like Dark Phoenix, especially Singularity Dark Phoenix, where you don't have as many options. You could just bring this out for like, I will recruit this 12/12 Mercury. So that's kind of cool. I love the plot twists in this set, just before we even get there. So we have Fight the Good Fight. Its main, recover and ready a stunned character on your side. It has Ferocious this turn. So we just have like a better X Factor. Because I believe recover and ready a stunned character. So I guess you can't. I guess you have to use this on a stunned character. I don't know if do as much as you can applies in this, but regardless, this is a very good card and really cool artwork. Cyclops looking like a badass on there. I don't remember this one actually. Long-term plan. Main, stun an enemy supporting character with cost exactly equal to the number of resources on your side. That's not bad. I guess you probably have to time that right. So this card might not be great, but that's not terrible. But this next card is incredible. I've heard some people be Debbie Downers about this card, but I don't understand it because this card is nuts. We have Sacred Ground. It's an any turn combat plot twist. A Brotherhood, Mutant Resistance, or X-Men character on your side in the combat may pay any power symbol. If they do, they get +3/+3 this combat. If they paid with Asteroid M, Utopia, or School for Gifted Youngsters, they get +6/+6 instead. So if they use any of their wild locations, with this, they get +6/+6. So, like, I get that you're using this card and you're having to pay a location, but come on, +3/+3 or +6/+6 and some of the coolest artwork in the game. This card rules. I like this. So we have our locations, which the artwork on the locations is on point in this set. So we have Utopia as our special location for the Mutant Resistance. And then real quick, we'll just go through these because you've all seen these before. So we got our laboratory, we got Beast on there, we got our academy. That one's kind of boring. But we have Fortress. This might be the coolest Fortress artwork we've seen so far with the gargoyles and whatnot. Very cool. And then we have Training Ground. It's got Pixie on there. Yeah, I like the locations in this set. All right, so that is the Mutant Resistance team. We're taking a lot of time to open cards this time. Let's go ahead and look at our evil team. Let's go ahead and take a look at Hammer. Oh my gosh, I'm getting stuck on my fingers. I'm a mess today, y'all. All right. Okay, let's open this bad boy. Let's do this. Okay, so we have Norman Osborn. He is a 1/6 with 5 wounds. He's AKA Iron Patriot, and he's AKA Green Goblin, so this boy's got 3 names. He's got no fatalities, so main for a green, daze an enemy character. And then he's got Director of Hammer, and he needs 4 XP. When a Hammer character on your side stuns an enemy character, but doesn't KO them, Norman gains an XP. So after you do that 4 times, you turn into this guy who looks like a badass. Look at that. I like the artwork. I like the Iron Patriot armor. So he's a 7/6, flight and ranged. And then he has Bring Me Their Heads and Hearts. Hammer characters on your side are lethal. And then Dark Avengers and Dark X-Men. Hammer characters on your side are also Avengers and X-Men. So you could play Think Agains. You could play, any number of things. A really cool thing you can do with this is you could play Hope Summers from the base set, who copies all keywords from X-Men, and now she can also copy your Hammer people. So there's definitely some interesting things you can do with Norman. It'd be really interesting to see what people do with this. Here's another very good card. We have Dark Beast. He's a 2/5, 5 wounds. You got Techno Genius. At the start of your turn, draw a card for each equipment on your side. You guys know I love drawing cards. I think I say that every video. And then he has Dark Scientist. Level up 6. At the end of your turn, Dark Beast gains XP equal to the total cost of equipment on your side. So then Dark Beast becomes level 2. He's a 3/10. Got that big butt on Dark Beast. Still got Technogenius, and then he has the Thrill of Experimentation. So main for a yellow, put -1 counters equal to the total cost of equipment on your side on an enemy character. So that's really cool. It's very interesting too because they do some interesting stuff with equipment in this set. If they're in here, did I not get my equipment? Oh, I'm looking at half my stack. Anyway, so there's some interesting equipment in this that we'll get to. That should make Dark Beast pretty interesting. This is a card that I love that some people say is bad, but we'll see. I think this card's really cool. So we have Weapon Omega. It's a 3/3 flight and range, 6 wounds. He's got mutant energy absorption. So main for a blue, each Brotherhood, mutant resistance, and X-Men supporting character on your side loses and can't gain powers. Put a +1 counter on Weapon Omega for each power lost this way. And then the collective is his level up. He needs 8. So when Weapon Omega gains a +1 counter, he gains an XP. So it's worth noting that he doesn't gain XP equal to, well, I guess it is. When he gains a +1 counter, he gains an XP. So I guess if you put multiple on with one effect, it would be equal to the number. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it would be equal to the number of counters you put on. So anyway, so at level 2, he's a 6/6 with 6 wounds, flight and range. He's addicted to mutant energy. As a Brotherhood, mutant resistance, or X-Men supporting character appears on your side, it loses and can't gain powers. And then put a +1 counter on Weapon Omega for each power lost this way. So yes, this is mandatory, and it's making all your guys blank, but I don't know. You're making your 6/6 flight and range guy huge every time you do it. I think that seems really strong, and I like the artwork. We will see. I like this card. We'll see. Here's another really good card. Very cool. We have Simon Trask. He's a 0/6, 5 wounds, and he has Humanity Now. You cannot put Brotherhood, Mutant Resistance, or X-Men cards in your deck. And then he has Proposition X, level up for 5. When an enemy character appears, Trask gains 1 XP for each team affiliation it has that it doesn't share with a character on your side. Alright, so then at level 2, I like these level 2s with different artworks. I always like that. He's a 5/8 with range. He's got Bio Sentinel. The bloodline must be purged. When an enemy, Brotherhood, Mutant Resistance, or X-Men character gets stunned, you may ready each Bio Sentinel on your side. He is a Bio Sentinel. And then he has Human Sentinel 1. Main, blue or yellow. Choose a supporting character on your side to become a Bio Sentinel with +5 attack, ranged, and lethal this turn. At the end of your turn, KO it. So it's worth noting, in this format that we're coming up on, all main characters have to be X-Men, Brotherhood, Mutant Resistance, or Hammer. So your ability to hit this first power when an enemy, Brotherhood, Mutant, or X-Men character gets stunned, that's going to happen a lot. It's pretty much guaranteed they're going to have one of those, unless you're playing against a Hammer guy. And then this power, where they get +5 range and lethal, is just insane. It's also worth noting that Simon Trask does not have a team affiliation. So they did say, though, that he is legal under the Children of the Atom format. But he does not have a team affiliation. So you could do some crazy things where you could play like a loyal deck with whatever team you want. It's a very interesting card. Alright, so we got our supporting characters now. Let's move these main characters off to the side for a second. Alright, so we have Mystique 1-drop. So she's impersonating Professor X. So this is Mystique right here. So she's a 1/4 with 1 wound. She has impersonating Professor X. Mystique has leader while Professor X isn't on a side. And then she has Mutant Bomb. At the end of your turn, if Mystique is in your front row, your main character may pay a red. If it does, KO her and put 3 -1 counters on each enemy front row character. I think that's not bad. That's a pretty good card. Yeah. Okay, we have Simon Trask supporting character. This is a really good card. He's 0/2, 1 health. Humanity's Last Stand. When Trask appears, he may pay an Earth. If he does, KO an enemy supporting character that doesn't share a team affiliation with a character on your side. So anything that just straight up KOs a character seems pretty good to me. Here's where this is one of those. This has that weird power that I don't like. But anyway, we have 2-drop dagger. He's 2/5 range, 1 health. It's got light force manipulation. If a -1 counter would be put on a character on your side, you may put a +1 counter on that character instead, which is really good. And then it has this stupid shifting loyalties power. At the end of your turn, if there is a face-up enemy, Brotherhood, Mutant Resistance, or X-Men character, and Dagger has Hammer, which she starts out with, She moves to that side, loses her team affiliation, then gains whatever team affiliation it was. Whatever. I think all these cards with the shifting loyalty, I get that it's a downside for really powerful cards, but I don't think you can play these at Gen Con, just because, like, they're all, unless they're playing a Hammer main character, obviously, you're pretty much guaranteed to run into this, and you're just going to be giving them your people. So that's disappointing. Still a good card, though. We have Dark Beast supporting character, 2/3 with 2 health. You pay 2 less to play evil equipment to a minimum of 1. That seems really good. We have one of these impersonating cards. These are really cool. So we have 3-drop Bullseye, who's impersonating Hawkeye. He's 4/4 with range. He's impersonating Hawkeye. Bullseye has Sniper, while Hawkeye isn't on the side. Sniper is the one where they can make ranged attacks into the back row. They can range attack protected characters. So a 3-drop with Sniper seems really good because it's a really strong power. Here we go. We have Cloak. He's a 3/3 with Flight. He's got Dark Force channeling. When another character appears on a side, put a -1 counter on it equal to its cost, which is really good. But of course, it has that terrible shifting loyalties thing. We have 4-drop Dakin. He's impersonating Wolverine, so he's got Berserker, while Wolverine is not on a side. He's 5/5 with 2 wounds. Moving on, we have Moonstone, dressed as Captain Marvel. She's impersonating, or Miss Marvel rather, impersonating Miss Marvel. 6/4, flight and range. Moonstone has +1 wound while Miss Marvel isn't on a side. This power remains while Moonstone is face down. This is a good card. We have 5-drop Mimic, 4/4, flight and range. He's got freeze, so when he appears, you freeze a guy. He's got Genius, so at the start of your turn you draw a card. I love drawing cards. And he has Tech Shield, or Tech... I don't know. This thing that Phoenix has. Any turn, any combat yellow, the defending character can't be stunned this combat. You may use this any number of times per turn. We have Mantle Venom, 7/7, 2 wounds, a.k.a. Scorpion. He's impersonating Spider-Man. There's a lot going on. Mantle Venom has mobile while Spider-Man isn't on the side. So his name is Venom, he's a.k.a. Scorpion, and he's impersonating Spider-Man. He's a guy with a lot of hats. He's got a lot of hats. Here's a really cool card. I don't know how good it is, but I just love the design of it. Everything about it I love. So we have Iron Patriot. He's a 5/7, 1 wound, flight and range. I think his stats are meh for a 6-drop these days at least. But he's a.k.a. Norman Osborn, a.k.a. Green Goblin, and he has Lower the Hammer. So when Iron Patriot appears, you may turn an enemy location face down. So if you're paying attention, this guy is the exact opposite of the OG Iron Man from the base set, where you turn one of your guys face up. When this appears, you turn one of theirs face down. I love the artwork. I love the power. I love that it's a reference to the original Iron Man. I love this. This is cool. We have Weapon Omega, 6-drop. It's 6/6, 1 wound, fight and range, dark invention. Main green, put a vitality counter on Weapon Omega for each Omega machine component equipment on your side. So we'll have to get that in a second. So we'll set this guy aside and we'll talk about him a little more, I guess. That's interesting. Okay, here's the best card in the set, hands down. Fight me on that. So if anybody thinks this isn't the best card in the set, I'll fight you, because this card is insane. We have 7-drop Ares. He's a 10/7. He's got 3 wounds. He's got dodge. He's got Combat Master. They can't play Plot Twist, and he's got lethal, so he KOs when he stuns you. This card is absolutely bonkers. Like, if this was a 10/7 with 3 and lethal, that would have been pretty solid. But then he's also got Combat Master and dodge. This card is insane. This is like the 7-drop now, I think. He's the guy. He's the GOAT. All right, what do we have next? We have Namor. He's one of those stupid shifting loyalty guys. He's got 9/9, 2 wounds, flight. He has Imperious Rex. Any turn, combat green. Double Namor's current attack and defense until the end of the combat, which is obviously good, but that's because he's got this dumb power. All right, next, we have another really cool card. We have 8-drop Sentry. He's an 18/18 with 2 wounds, flight, and range. That's crazy, and he's got awesome artwork. But he's got Reluctant God, so he can't strike. But then he has Mindfulness, so any turn combat, yellow, Sentry loses Reluctant God this combat. So anytime you want him to hit somebody, you're going to have to pay that yellow. Or you can just drop 9-drop Dark Phoenix on 9 and delete keywords, and then he's just an 18/18 with flight and range. All right, so here's these weird equipments that we have. So If you'll notice here, so we have these Omega Machine components, and they say Equipment Machine. So with these, you don't equip them on a character like you normally would do with an equipment. Instead, you just play it out there like a character, and it just sits there, and you just apply the effect as you go. Let's look at these real quick. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that. Now, I'll just break it down real quick. So you play it out there like a character, and your opponent can get rid of it. They can attack it to get rid of it, but they can only attack it if you don't have any other face-up characters. So if they've stunned or whatever, gotten rid of all your characters, they can then attack your machine equipment, and then as soon as it's attacked, it dies. It just happens instantly, but they have to stun all your guys first. Anyway, so let's take a look at this 1-drop Omega Machine component. It's one of a kind. It's got Power Drain. When an enemy character recovers, put a -1 counter on it. And then we have a 2-drop one, Power Drain. When an enemy character readies, put a -1 counter on it. And then we got the 3-drop one. When an enemy character appears, put a -1 counter on it. And then the 4-drop is when an enemy character exhausts, put a -1 counter on it. So that's pretty cool. So going back to this, Weapon Omega, he gets a Vitality counter for each of these on your side. And again, they don't get equipped to people like normal equipments. They just go out on your side. Unless I'm totally wrong about that. I only read the rules on it once. So now we have Spin Master. I think this card is really good. Main, double the -1 counters on each enemy character. That seems very strong to me. I could be wrong. We have Out Position. Put a +1 or -1 counter on a character. Then you may move it to a different row on its side. That seems meh. We have Hammer HQ. I like the artwork on this. That's our special location for the Hammer team. We got blue again, we got yellow again, we got green again, and we got our reds again. So that is everything for the Utopia battle set. So next month, I think we get the Heroes expansion. So we're going to expand on the Mutant Resistance team. And then the month after that, we should expand on our Hammer stuff. Here, I'll flip through these again really quick. I really, really like what we're seeing out of this so far. I think Gen Con will be a very exciting format. I'm pretty thrilled to be done with the one-of-a-kind format. Dallas was this weekend for me. I got 3rd place, which was great. But I won't be at Origins this year, so I don't have to play this. I don't have to play Singularity format ever again. Hopefully, thank God for that. I enjoyed it. I had fun. I can't stand deck building for Singularity. Anyway, I'm kind of getting totally off topic. Anyway, so that is the Utopia battle set. Let me know what you guys think. What cards are you really excited to play with? What characters do you want to see in the upcoming sets in the next few months? Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.